Mr. President, Excellencies, in this ever-changing landscape, we are facing significant geopolitical challenges that undermine international peace, security, and the principles of human rights. This is particularly evident in Gaza, where there have been blatant violations of international laws and appalling brutalities. Israel's genocide has led to the unnecessary tragic loss of civilian lives, resulting in profound suffering and devastation. While Malaysia welcomes the January 15 ceasefire agreement, we consider it merely a starting point. As with many others, we believe in addressing the root cause of the conflict. The illegal occupation in the occupied Palestinian territory, or OPT, must end, and all states should implement the ICJ advisory opinion of 19 July 2024 without further delay. Accountability for human rights violations in Palestine must prevail. As a matter of urgency, Israel must render its cooperation and grant full access to the Commission of Inquiry and Special Rapporteur on the occupied Palestinian territories. Malaysia also calls for the timely convening of the Conference of the High Contracting Parties to the Fourth Geneva Convention to uphold the General Assembly's resolutions and ICJ rulings. On the humanitarian front, Malaysia reaffirms its support for the reconstruction and disaster relief efforts for Palestinians. We will host the fourth ministerial meeting of East Asian countries for Palestinian Development, or CPAD, this year to promote sustainable reconstruction of Gaza and empower the Palestinian community. Excellencies, as the current chair of ASEAN, Malaysia is committed to strengthening ASEAN's voice on human rights issued through the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights. On the ongoing conflict and humanitarian crisis in Myanmar, Malaysia aims to create a conducive environment for engagement among stakeholders to rebuild trust, foster inclusive dialogue, and facilitate the delivery of humanitarian assistance. The five-point consensus remains the bedrock of ASEAN's approach. Malaysia is committed to working closely with the United Nations and its agencies to promote concrete progress and achieve a durable and peaceful resolution to the crisis in Myanmar. To facilitate progress, Malaysia has appointed its ASEAN Special Envoy to Myanmar. We also look forward to strengthening ASEAN engagement and cooperation with the United Nations and human rights mechanisms on human rights issues related to climate change, women and children, health, development, and digitalization. We continue to explore capacity-building programs to protect vulnerable groups. Excellencies, Malaysia remains committed to promoting and protecting human rights. On the national front, we will continue to prioritize human rights as a fundamental aspect of development and well-being of our people. We demonstrate this commitment by advancing reforms that promote dignity, justice, and equality for all. Malaysia's commitment in advancing human rights is evident through the development of Freedom of Information Act, National Aging Blueprint, National Indigenous People Development Policy, and National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights. We continue to collaborate with the OSCR through various human rights mechanisms. Just last year, we welcomed visit by the High Commissioner for Human Rights, the independent expert on the rights of older persons, and the Special Rapporteur on arbitrary execution. Excellencies, the Human Rights Council should be made more effective by avoiding politicization, application of double standards, and proliferation of agendas. The Council must decisively uphold its mandate to ensure fairness, transparency, and accountability on all human rights violations. To restore trust of the international community and remain relevant, the Council must be responsive to the current global needs and challenges. Malaysia stands ready to contribute to this crucial endeavor. I thank you, Mr. President.